Alrighty. Awesome quote. I'm going to start that off right off the bat. Tolemykus, wicked quote, due to the fact that more or less it sums up what's been going on at work with the project that I've been working on. So that's pretty neat. Great to see everyone. Well, obviously Tolemykus, because you were the first one on. Great to see you, Hara Bosma, Charles Latora, Willie Marins for sure, and we're going to talk about you super quick right now, and Brian R. Smith. I'm just going to say this, Willie Marins, and I guess everybody else should thank you too. I was going to cancel the show yesterday because I just completely mismanaged my time this week on a monstrous scale. So in a weird way, Brian R. Smith, kind of like the homework, dog ate my homework again kind of thing scenario. And I was going to cancel the show, and I was like, God, I was feeling guilty about it too, obviously. And I'm like, this is becoming a recurring theme, Chris. You can't keep just canceling the show every 2 weeks or something. And it was like, it's not your show as well. Like, you're just the host kind of thing. And then blammo, Willie Marins, he sent me like a bazillion pictures, which we're going to see. And I was like, well, that just kind of sealed it there. So we'll go with what we can. I'm going to pop the narrative straight up, and that should get things started, I hope. Like I said, so we'll see how it goes. I've got so little prepared and whatnot, but thankfully, well, this is going to be William Marins' show in a sense. So that's the way I'm looking at it. So here we go. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well. Here in Canada, we've got, I'm just going to get rid of your comment there. Hold on, where is it there? There we go. And I'm back to the normal comments here. Yeah, here in Canada, we've got a long weekend. So Brian R. Smith and, William Marins as well, and me, they're get Monday off, which is going to be pretty sweet. Anyways, you guys can see here, like I said, welcome everyone. And this is going to be an interesting live stream. Hopefully it does go well. But like I said, thank God, William Marins, you saved it. So yes, here's the live stream fact checker. I think last week I was mentioning, I did mix up the battles. So that strange one there that I can't pronounce it, the Battle of Marasti or whatever. That's the Romanian one where that was the last combined, I think, attack or whatever with Romania, a successful attack, I think, with the Romanians and whatnot and the Russians, because after that, the Civil War, no, 1970. So yeah, okay, I think it's just before the Russians collapse. I have to do another bloody fact check for that. But I mixed it up with the Siege of Van, I was thinking. So that was the one I was talking about with the von Mackensen and whatnot. Also, I forgot to mention that Baron von Richthofen there, his first kill was last week. And I was kind of, at first, it was like, what? And I put that there in the quotes there because I wanted to go and find out who his first kill was. And it was Second Lieutenant Lionel Morris and his observer Tom Rees in the skies over Cambrai, France on the 17th of September, 1916. And I got it in quotes because that's not me. That's from, I think I took that from Wikipedia or whatever. And I was like scratching my head at first. I was like, why the hell did it took Richthofen so long to take down a plane? Because he's been in the skies for quite a while now. And then I just read up very quickly, and it's just relatively recently he's become a pilot. Before then he was an observer and whatnot on it. So he was flying around, just not as a combat pilot. So I thought that was pretty neat. It's just a chat among friends. Wicked, Brian R. Smith. That's the way I'm looking at it as well. I've got to start doing that. But also the quote, I think it was mentioning, I couldn't remember the quote there from last week, and I was saying to you that this is like it was what some of the German high command believed, and I guess it was like an actual quote, where it's like, where there is sect, and sect was Mackensen's right-hand man or second in command kind of thing in his group. Anyways, it's where there is sect, there's Mackensen, and where there is Mackensen, there is victory. And that's essentially the way they looked at it. Brian R. Smith says, while the federal government in some provinces have holidays for National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, Quebec does not. Oh, I didn't know that. So you're, I had no clue about that. And then as well as if anybody wants to chime in on any games that you've been playing, that'd be great. This was after I was looking at, oh, darn it, I think I was watching one of Clark Commando 1983 videos there. He was, and I think he mentioned Tactics 2 or something. And I went and took a look at it, and it's got a square grid. And I was like, I wonder if, you know, I mean, you think about it way back in the day with, like, I don't know if Kriegspiel, the old Kriegspiel or whatever, is on a grid, uses a grid or whatever, or if it's like, you know, measurement like a miniatures thing. But I was like, you know, when did hexagons come into play at some point? Because before then, everybody was just using square grids. And I was like, I'm wondering if perhaps square grids could be used or should, or, you know, could be used for operational war games. Anyways, I'm just throwing that out. I don't have a big Bertha bingo today. Like I said, doing whatever. I'm shocked, though. I did get a Who or What Am I in World War One. We'll do that very quickly. Here we are with the points still. No one got any points, obviously, for the Big Bertha bingo this week because I didn't do one. And there we go. And we've got your third part, William Aarons, for the ATA, which is wicked. I'm really happy about that. I think we should be, I really would like to go and take a look at this video. It's not long. It's only about 1.5 minutes or something. But I just thought it would be kind of neat. Tolemykus, you say the military still uses square grids. Oh, cool, man. Thanks for letting me know. Or us know, sorry. And anyways, I wanted to take a look at this because I thought it's just neat, and it's in the news right now, as we know. I mean, the Salonika campaign is, the Balkans are all over the place at the moment, and we're going to get a little bit more there. Remember, you were mentioning Charles Zatora in the headlines. Dave, I'm going to say this on a side note as well. I've been getting some wicked comments from new viewers or whatever, or maybe they've been viewing my channel for ages, I don't know, and they just recently started commenting. I don't know. But I've been getting some really interesting, insightful comments lately. I was like, wow, like just made me stop and think. Like somebody mentioned something about, boy, wouldn't it be neat when I brought up the thing about Crete and whatnot when we were starting to get into that, and he was like, boy, wouldn't that be neat to get completely away from the normal regular forces if there was some kind of revolution going on at the time. In Crete and whatnot, maybe use soldiers or something like a tactical game like that. And I was like, yeah, you got some good ideas there. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the BGG game of the week, but I wanted to bring one of the. Oh, great to see you, Gamers with Coffee. I hope you're doing well. And I'm going to pop up just mine as well. As Brian R. Smith says, has anyone played Empires and Alliances from Compass? It's been out of print for some time, but my FLGS has a copy. Yeah, so there you go. Please answer him. That would be great. I brought, yeah, the BGG game of the week there. I was like, well, Charles Zatora, for crying out loud, let's pick some games that people are playing. It just makes a bit more sense to be, you know, it's a bit more relevant. So bring it in. And this is the cool thing. Wait until we see some of William Aarons' pictures. A lot of it is he did the Ascari one or whatever from. Oh well, we're gonna get to it soon enough. So I said, yeah, there we go. The William Aarons' pictures. We're going to go take a look at that. StreamYard prices are total. Look, man, I like StreamYard. It's easy to use, but these guys are turning into total greedy bastards. I'm sorry to say that, but it's like, what the hell? They're now bringing. Essentially, I'm not going to get any alteration much in my benefits or whatever for my level. And now they're going to want $45 American per month. I'm like, okay, this has got to stop. So I've got to have to figure out something quick. And it's happening quick for me. Something like mid-October. I'm like, that's just total BS. Good morning, Eric Goebel. Great to see you, especially due to the fact I thought I was going to cancel the show. I've been mentioning to people that I just did not prepare enough material this week. And but William Aarons came through, basically. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do about this. Like, I do not want to pay $45 American for a month for StreamYard. That's just insane. Like I said, this is just total greed as far as I'm concerned. There's no need for it. Paul Hedder live stream special number 2. Remember, that's coming up soon on the 12th of October. We've been chit-chatting a little bit there on email this week. I'm not going to mention anything. He'll be bringing in some news for sure. There's the thing, the movement of national defense in Greece. I did do a little screenshot thing. So that's the thing there after, remember Bulgaria. Darn it. Yeah, so Charles Zatora says he has. Use the rest. Okay, restream, Chris. That's what we use. I'll send. Thank you, Gamers with Coffee. Thank you. I think you've mentioned this before as well. Oh, goody. Lots of people are answering you, Brian R. Smith. I hope you're seeing it. So here, I'll pop on Eric Goebel's thing there. So let's get back to this. Yeah, the movement of national defense in Greece. Well, we're going to take a look at the picture in a tiny little bit. The War of Steel and Gold. It's one of the 2 books I picked up yesterday at the expensive used bookstore near my work. I brought my boss with me, and I was lucky I did. I even told her before we went in. I said, this store's a bad store for me. It's very quiet. It's extremely immersive. And the books I like to look at are all in the basement. So time becomes irrelevant. And I'm like, and you should have saw her. She was having a kitten practically yesterday going, come on, we got to get back to work. Back to work. We ran into our boss, or her boss, my manager. So 2 steps up. I thought that was kind of funny. But she was just having a freaking out. But I picked up that book, so I wouldn't mind taking a quickie look at that. It's we'll hopefully we'll look at it. And then World War I, an outline of history. Oh my God, they had Foch's memoirs there, the whole 9 yards. Like those 2 books right there, 45 bucks Canadian, man. That was like, ouch. Also that the 1914-1918 online encyclopedia, boy, have they ever stepped up. I think I mentioned before, it's an awesome resource. I love going there. But before, I would say maybe a little over a month ago, before then, their database or their server or whatever was god-awful slow. It was brutal. Sometimes I was getting timeouts and so on. It was just brutal. Now it's unbelievably fast. It is amazing. They've redone the whole thing. It looks fantastic. Yes, I did manage to get the week that was. So I'm really happy about that. All right, so we're going to go to that. I'm going to start doing the we're going to do the who or what am I in World War I. I think that's a great idea. Yes, can hide that. And here's your first clue. I wonder if that's going to be interesting to see how fast this goes. So here's your first clue. Many people mistake either Brusilov or Neville for coming up with me. So obviously it's what am I in World War I. So there's your first clue. And if there's anybody that's new, essentially, even just guessing, you're going to get a point. So it's totally that way. All right, and then I'm going to start, while we're doing that, I want to take a look back to the narrative quickly to see what, let's go to the movement of national defense in Greece. That's what I was saying. I was like, wow, if I wouldn't mind trying to find it. So I've been trying. It's not easy. Tolemykus says hospital gurney. You are incorrect, but you're going to get a point. That's for flipping sure. So there you go. And I'll pop in the second clue then. Hold on here, because I got to get to it. I was first used by the Bulgarians back in 1913. Who am I? And I'm just going to make sure I get to the bottom of the comments, because I tend to not do that. And what did I say I wanted to show? Yes, the movement of national defense. Hold on here. And Tolemykus is going to put feet wraps as his next clue, and you are incorrect, but you're getting points, man. You're getting points, and that's the whole point. Pardon the pun. All right, so I'm going to pop this in here, and I want to make sure I can, I can stop the screen because I have to go and present the screen. Meandering Mike, great to see you. And you're going to get a point for Bulgar wheat, but you are incorrect. And you're going to get a point, though. I'm going to pop the third clue in here. This is interesting. I'm going to really find out. I don't think I'm being crazy, weird with the clues, but maybe I am. Once people took notice of what I could do, I was used extensively. What am I? And like I said, I'm going to try and present the screen. Tolemykus says rubber tires. Interesting. But you are incorrect. Do you remember Tolemykus? I don't know if you were seeing that. Oh, Harold Bosma, aspirin or antibiotics. Wicked, but you're incorrect. Especially that Germans invented aspirin. Where are you here? So I wanted to show the thing here. So this is that thing I was saying about the movement of national defense in Greece. And when that person on my channel commented about, oh boy, wouldn't that be kind of neat to see? William Aaron says, if you need to read them, I'll just send you 2 more emails of pictures. Cool, William Aaron. Brian R. Smith says, deception messages. Excellent. I like that one, but you are incorrect. Yes, you can see that. I gotta hide this a little bit. So yeah, this is that thing. No, hold on, I'm gonna make it bigger. Actually, I know what I'll do. If I do the display options for the width, this should. Oops, didn't really see to do that. Harold Bosma says balloons. You are incorrect, but you're getting a point. And whoa, I don't even know what the heck that thing is, but you're going to get a point, Meandering Mike, for that crazy rifle. Hold on here, I got to put a point down for you. And Tolemykus is going to say human bombs, and you're going to get a point, but you're not. You didn't get the thing. Hold on here. I'm just going to make sure I'm not. And Charles Latorre is going to get a point for no ideas. Okay, yes, you guys, and I'm going to hide the banner just for a second because I want you guys to see that little bit here. So yeah, so anyways, you can see here it says, remember in September 1916, we just found out about this, where Kavala, the town of Kavala, the Bulgarians came in, that 4th Army Corps or whatever, essentially surrendered and went off to Germany, and Greece freaked out. Well, and there's you can see here is a bunch of pro Venezuelists and whatnot, basically just took over Salonika with the help of General Sorrel and whatnot. But it's at this bottom here. Over the next few months and with Allies' help, the provisional government managed to take control of northern Greece, Crete, and the Aegean Islands and presented itself as an alternative to the king's power. And when I saw that, I went, oh boy. And that, like I said, with that person's comment, I was like, boy, wouldn't that be kind of neat to find out some more information about the relative forces in that thing, and maybe do a soldier scenario in Crete or something. Sure, no one's done it. I would, or any of those types of combats. I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, so I can get rid of this, and then I'm going to get you guys another banner. I just have to make sure. Oh, this one may get you. I think this one will get you. Timing was crucial for me to be effective, however. What am I? And there you go. And I'm going to go back to my narrative so I know what the heck I'm supposed to be talking about. Yeah, okay, let's go to the World War I, an outlining history. And I also want to go take a quickie look at those books, which I thought, one of them in particular, and he's, I guess, I just looked on very quickly. I don't, his name is H.N. Brailsford. And he was an American author. I don't know if he's still around. I don't think so. No, because that one was written in 1915. So, and he was like, I guess, a left-leaning activist or whatever, American whatever. But you see, Meandering Mike's his pocket watch. Interesting. You're going to get a point, but you were incorrect. Charles Latorre says, you were incorrect, but you're getting one. And Harold Bosma says ethnic cleansing. Yeah, but you're not. You're getting a point. But yeah, that whatnot. What did I say? Yeah, I wanted to just quickly show you the how nice it's become. The online encyclopedia. They've really done a bloody good job. And Brian R. Smith says air reconnaissance. Interesting one to say, but you are incorrect. You're going to get a point, though. Hold on here. I'm going to share the screen. Just want you to see it very quickly. You've seen it before, I think, but maybe not like this. And yes, you can see it's really fast. Watch this. I'll just type in Crete. Boom! And there we are. Like, that's how fast. Before, it was like I could go read a book. I'm not kidding. It was brutal. Absolutely brutal. And yeah, it's really well done. Like, and you can see, like, it's just extremely well done. But I wanted to show you guys that. All right. Back to here, actually. I keep forgetting I can do that. I don't have to like kill the entire whatever. Okay, and then I'm going to give you another clue. My God, we're running out of. This is it, the last clue. Oh my God, I thought for sure I was. Maybe I am being terrible. So one of the best examples of me being used was by the Canadians at the Battle of Vimy Ridge in 1917. What am I? Okay, and oh yeah, I wanted to show you the books. Those nice books. Think that would. Oh yes, and this as well. Meandering Mike's hand grenades. Ooh, I like it, but you are incorrect. Oh, Brian R. Smith, you did it, man! I was worried that no one was going to get it. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I'll put your thing up so you'll know what the hell Brian R. Smith said. Creeping Barrage. That's it. And I'll give you a point as well there, Charles Atora. Sniper rifle. And I got to hold on here. I got to give Meandering Mike a point, and then I got to give Brian R. Smith, who's now pulling away. Well done, man. Well done. Yep, it was the Creeping Barrage. I was really surprised that I thought for sure it was Neville, and then I started reading up a bit more about it, and then they were saying, oh, maybe some people used to think it was potentially Brusilov that did it, but in reality, his was more of a operational type of artillery barrage kind of thing, not on a tactical level or something like this. And then I started reading up on it. Well, I think I put in the sources and links. If I didn't, I'll go and put it in later. Hold on here. But it was the last clue. Okay, cool. I was worried. I thought, well, worried. What am I saying? But I thought maybe the fifth clue would be the timing one. I thought was going to be perhaps the one that someone would get. But right on, man. Yeah. As you know, Arthur Curry there was like Mr. I remember reading up about that, and you know, the Brits, when they saw his plan for Vimy Ridge, like some of them were snickering, you know, because he had things down to like, okay, in 20 minutes they're going to be this far ahead, you know, we'll have this, and they were just like, yeah, whatever. And guess what? It happened that way. It was like freaky crazy. But they practiced and practiced and practiced like there was no tomorrow, and fake trench lines of the Germans and so on and so forth. It wasn't like they just, you know, next week, by the way, guys, we're going over the top to take Vimy Ridge. It wasn't like that at all, as you know. I mean, it was a ton of planning that went into that. Okay, I do want to show you this, though. So if you guys are interested, I think I put this in the sources and links. But like I said, I'll check later if it's not there. Okay, I think I can just go back to here. Yep. So I found this out because I was looking up stuff on Crete, and I just could not find any good information so far on the Great War in any conflicts in. I got to bump it up, or I'll turn me into nothing. So that way you can see a little bit. So this is again from away from the Western Front, but they have a YouTube video of what this guy's talking about on the Salonika campaign. I don't know how long this thing is, but this looks interesting. I haven't watched it yet, but it's there. And now we'll go to the books quickly. Hold on here. Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, we got 22 minutes in. And like I said, we'll, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. This looks interesting book. I like I said, I just picked it up yesterday. But that story is just evil. Evil. Absolutely evil. All right, yeah, there it is. And I'll show you a little bit more. The War of Steel and Gold is a historical analysis of the causes and consequences of World War I, written by Henry. The book explores the political and economic tensions that led to the outbreak of the war. And I was like, oh boy, I would like to get that one. Thank you very much. And well, it's at my house now. And then the second one, just because I wanted to get, as usual, I mean, I don't know about you, but I want to get different perspectives on things. I just don't want to have the same stuff over and over again. Also, I'd really like to start getting read more of that the German secondary source. So this is here's a compact and masterful history of World War I by one of the most competent military analysts of our times. I thought, okay, cool, that would be quite nice. Oh yes, and there we're gonna. I'm glad Meandering Mike's here too, because I'll put me full on. I'm glad that Meandering Mike's here too, because this has got partially to do with game stuff. I don't know if you're around, Meandering Mike, when I popped out the question, but it was basically should or could or should, whatever, square grids be used for operational wargaming? That was the thing. Meandering Mike says, I'm feeling better. I still get tired a lot, lots of naps. Well, good. I'm going to pop your comment out because it's wonderful to hear that you're doing better, man. And everybody, I guarantee, is happy to hear about that as well. The second thing is because you've got a lot of play design and whatnot, insights and whatever. I was curious if people, and a lot of people are having a hard time getting play testers or lack of play testing for games and so on and so forth. And I was like, I wonder if there's a possibility if, let's say, you're a game publisher or game designer or whatever, and you offered a scaled down version of or a segment or a scenario of your game or something like that, and you put it on Wargame Vault as a print and play, free. And that way you could solicit, in a sense, the wider gaming community, and then just find out the feedback from there. I'm wondering if that's a possibility for some types of play testing. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out. And I'm going to go back to, but I do want, screw this. Let's go to, I want to go to William Aarons' pictures because there's a ton of them and they're really good. And there's some bizarre, like, wait until you see this weird, yep, that's it. It just goes straight there. I'm going to, okay, I can pop this in the, I can put it in a banner. Hold on. So this is the, pop that in the banner. I just make a new banner. I keep forgetting about this. So this is what, I think you can see that. There. Boink. So that's William Aarons is saying that I'll send a number of emails. This time the pictures will be in order from the top to the bottom. These first are Against the Odds magazine and Game Guns of the Scary about the East Africa campaign. And away we go. I'm going to show them to you. And then the next thing is on the world's worst weapons or something. It's really neat. Those are the pictures. I was like, what in the world? Okay, I just got to make sure I'm doing the display options properly. Okay, and I want to see what you guys can see. Hold on here. Oh, stop the screen. Present. Share the screen. Yeah, so like I said, in the long run, and you're right, Brian R. Smith, this is about just hanging out with friends and whatnot, and I got to stop whatever. Like I said, I was not going to have the show because I was like, I don't have sweet PR. But yet again, William Aarons, you come in. It's just incredible. So there it is. Yeah, this is the first time I've actually seen, I think, that cover. But I'm going to bump it up a little bit. I just thought it was neat because it's like, wait a minute, Charles Latour is playing Shoots Troop there, and I'm like, we can now kind of see the difference of it's kind of neat. I'll bump them up a little bit more. I got him. You got it where there. Okay, and then there's that map. It's kind of neat to see the difference, that's for sure. Looks nice. I like it. I wonder if it's the oh, I'm not looking at the comments or anything. I wonder if it's the same scale. Well, I guess we could always check on BGG or whatever, the same scale or whatnot. There it is. Oh, let's do something like that. German, Meandering Mike says, I was going to say German Mike. Meandering Mike, so pronounce the ending as Schutztruppe or something like that, or Schutztruppe, I guess. So, okay. I was wondering about that. I wasn't sure if when Charles Torra was saying it or not. I wasn't too sure, but I was like, I try to pronounce it the way other people, when I'm interacting, if you get it, you know what I mean? Like the same way, like with Paul Hederer, he calls it knock patties, you know, that type of thing, whatever. But this looks nice. I like it. So I don't know where you, how recent you picked this up. Okay, thank you, Meandering Mike. But nice one, man. Oh, hold on here. I want to see this bit. I guess this is a mountain thing. And then this next, I'll just read it out because I don't want to go back and pan. So the next bits we're going to see, and this is William Aarons saying, here are some of the weapon systems highlighted in the book, The World's Worst Weapons. And there's some really interesting ones. Please let me know if it's too small or whatever. I'll try to do, I'm going to display it width-wise, and then I'll just scroll back and forth. I'll try that and see if that works. I'll try to make this a little bit bigger. Hold on. I don't know if it works that way with this. Oh, good. It does. Nice. And I'll try to... Little Willie, shown here, was not so much a combat vehicle as a technology demonstrator. It served its purpose, which was to show that a tracked armored vehicle was a possibility. And talk about good timing, William Aarons, because, I mean, as we know, the tank just popped up, 2 weeks ago? So right on, man. This vehicle was steered using trailing wheels with help from the tracks. The system was used in early tanks until track-only steering became more visible or viable. And then there's the track thing. Okay, we're going to go. I'm not going to drive everybody crazy here. The Seabrook armored car. Yeah, we've heard about this quite a bit, haven't we? As far as I know, these guys, well, let's find out where it was. Developed for use by the Navy, the Seabrook armored car mounted a 3-pounder gun. And of course, you guys would know these things. I don't. Despite some interesting features such as the side could be lowered to allow the gun a better field of fire, which incidentally deprived the crew of their protection. Oh, brother. Nice. A little water thing on the side and everything. That's so cool. The first tanks were crude and clumsy affairs that required a large crew to operate. And yeah, I mean, you guys know too, from what I've heard, there's like, they're just getting sick. I mean, monstrously hot. The fumes loud, the whole 9 yards. My God, what a nightmare. I don't know who that, but you did what you do, eh? And then here's the Seabrook again. And I guess they were saying this is that thing that could be lowered, and then but unfortunately, yeah, there it says could be lowered and improve the field of fire. Wild. That is so cool. Thanks again, William Aarons. And then combat vehicles must above all be mobile. The need of a reliable source of power and the means to deliver this power to the ground driving the vehicle. You also need to be able to cope with obstacles and rough ground. Yep. I'm not going to yet again read it all. Hopefully you guys can just take a look at it. It's just I'm also trying to save my voice a little bit. But we're going to see some weird, I think this is the one with the propeller in the back. What in the world is going on? I'll put this one normal. Hold on here. I was like, am I looking at something? Is this real? Yeah, the exposed aero engine was vulnerable to enemy fire from the flanks, although head on, it was protected by the crew compartment. And then the radiator over here, it says was also unprotected. But I'm like, what the hell? You know, imagine seeing this driving by. It's almost like that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car, for goodness sakes. Good Lord. At this one I can make, I think I can change it to width. There we go. That's nice. And I'm not going to say that, but wagon was the most interesting vehicle created by the Royal Air Force personnel, driven by a propeller powered by, that's that thing again, by an aero engine on the back of the vehicle. It had novelty on its side, at least. Yes, it did. However, with an unprotected radiator and engine, Charles Latour says, and how many troops got sliced by that propeller blade? Yeah, no kidding. Oh my gosh. Talk about, though, I'll tell you one thing, at least you don't have to worry about tailgaters. That's for bloody sure. Look at this thing. This is so neat. So this is one of that French tank. And look at that thing. You can see, I guess those are the pistons or whatever at the top. I don't know if that's what it is. And you guys can see that, I hope. Once their uselessness as a combat vehicle was revealed, many Saint-Chamons became passable logistics vehicles. Hull armor was increased to give greater protection, but the Saint-Chamond was still prone to catching fire. Oh my God. And there's the thing. I'm probably doing it again, aren't I? William Aarons Smith, going backwards. I'm sorry, William Aarons, I'm sorry. Developed independently, it seems like it. Carried its impressive armament of 175 millimeter gun. Holy jeepers jumping. That's insane. Petrol powered, making it prone to bursting into flames when hit. Okay. The clumsy land ship. Yeah, I'm going backwards. Again, sorry, dude. Zeppelin bombers. Zeppelins made useful reconnaissance platforms, especially at sea, but as attack aircraft, they left some. This knocked my socks off, William Aarons, when I was reading it this morning. 90% of the bombs missed. Talk about inefficient. Holy moly. It's almost like you would want to tell the crew to not aim for London or you're going to hit it. Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. I wonder if that's the one we were seeing. No, there's a fair amount that start getting nailed now, especially with the advent of the incendiary bullets. Look at that. I was really, really super happy to see this picture. I've never seen the back end of a Zeppelin like this. This is really neat to see. I just want to make sure that we could get there, but then you guys don't see the full on. But I wanted you to see the bottom bits there. I will put it back here. Hold on here. We're still doing pretty good for time, I think. There, the massive rudders of this Zeppelin provide a measure of guidance, but these huge aircraft were still heavily influenced by air currents. And you know that, Charles Atora, because you were playing a bit of Zeppelin Raider, I do believe. Lateral and vertical stabilizers help the Zeppelin to maneuver against the wind. A huge semi-rigid frame contains many smaller gas bags. A few machine gun bullets through the canopy would affect a Zeppelin. Very little. Wow, that is so neat to see it. I've never seen one. I just like that shape. It just looks really interesting. Okay. And then the tank. You know what? I still think I'm pretty darn sure about this tank here, this German tank. They said only about, 20 were made or something, or 15 or something like that. Charles Otero says there should be a sign on the back saying break for softwares. Cool. I think the only one of these in existence now is in Australia, for goodness sakes, because I remember mentioning it to Dad versus Son. I was like, if you ever get down to the museum, I think it's in Melbourne, please let me, if you could, take a picture. I think it got brought back as a war trophy kind of thing, which I thought was kind of neat. But yeah, so that's a 57 millimeter gun compared to that 75 millimeter thing that, look at them there. There they are. I got to admit, though, they are cool looking tanks. At least I think they are. Resembling mobile barns of whatever. Yeah. Oh, there it is. And only 20 were ever fielded. Nice. Hand bayonets. Boy, we keep hearing about that too. By the bayonet. By the bayonet. There we are. What the hell was I watching just a little recently? I was going through all the casualties, like the percentages, and it was actually very small. Well, oh man, it's about the intricacies. It's like, of course, you're not going to see a lot of bayonet wounds. Is usually, it's like if you get bayoneted, you die kind of thing. That's why they're like, okay, if you look at the casualty lists, you know, it's mostly like artillery or whatever that are wounded, or it's where, because you're survivable, fair, you know, compared to like a bayonet. Obviously, you get the idea. So it was kind of like it skews the stuff. And then this gun, I'll put it. A handgun's primary purpose is to shoot bullets. Yep. An early handgun blade experiment. Thrusting with a pistol-mounted blade is a clumsy business. Okay. And then, oops. And this one I'll have to put in normal. And this is the entrance to the Tunnel Crown Prince. And I was like, after that, I would like to go and see if I could find a little bit more about it. It would be nice to know if how nice it was in there. That's for sure. And what else? There's now I think the letters from BERTHA, frontline experiences of an American volunteer in World War I, France. I think William Aarons, I'm not sure, you would know, but I think the next picture is this dude, isn't it? Or coming up, there's the World's Worst Weapons thingamajig book. And then I think that would be him, wouldn't it? I'm pretty sure he looks awfully similar. And, you know, it did say he was a whatever, so I'm going with it. And then we can stop because that's that bit. And what are we doing? 38, we got 20 minutes. We're doing okay then. I'll take a look again at the, at my narrative to make sure that we're not, I do want to do the ATA. And we're not doing it, like I said, I don't have a, there's no after hours this week again. Like I said, I screwed up monstrously this week with my time management. Just like there's no tomorrow. Hold on, I got to bring down the comments bit. So I've got your ATA set up. So yeah, we'll do the ATA and then the whatever. But I just want to yet again, like I said, look at the narrative here. Using Wargame Vault as a medium to get play testers. I think it's got some interesting things to think about. Yet again, thanks again if you're still around, Gamers with Coffee. No, I'm sorry, Meandering Mike. I really blew it this week, time management wise. Essentially, work was relentless, just nuts this week. It was nuts. That's all I got to say. And I just kept taking it home with me. And so it was filtering that way. And then as with some of my videos you've seen, I went off into Wonderland with the CRT, and it was just eating up time like there was no tomorrow. And I was just like, what are you doing, dude? And then yesterday I was like, well, you know what? You're just going to call it a day with the show, like not even do the show. And then, like I said, William Aarons provided tons of pictures, and it just clicked. I was like, it's not your show anyways, as you know, you're just the host. So move it, do something. So there you go. What did I say I wanted to do? Hold on here. I really don't know. Let's go to the ATA. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I want to take a look at that. Present, share the screen. And William Aarons says, I just picked this game up in a 3 magazine deal from Against the Odds, a history and company from Pops. I'm going to put your thing so people can see. Hold on here. I'm going to cancel this first temporarily. I can show and I can read it a little bit better. History and game from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I also ordered a World War II naval game and an 1862 Civil War game. Cool. Yes, Meandering Mike, and I'll pop your thing on here. Yes, still around. Sent you the email. Thank you, man or woman. There we go. Very easy to get distracted. Life is full of so many cool things. Yes, it is. And I hope it continues. That's for bloody sure. Let's go to the present the screen. And I got an extra day off. Like I said, I've got Monday off. So if I'm smart, I could start preparing that. I was even, we'll talk about it later. I was even considering like going maybe once every 2 weeks or doing like a moderate one every 2 weeks and then jumbo one, or I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, it's certainly, like I said, I want to improve and I want to get more into certain topics and whatnot. Like right now, I'm been, because of the, my creative writing, whatever, I decided what I wanted to do is I'm actually going to get Zoya Popova, the field nurse. She's going to actually be dealing with a prisoner of war. I thought that would be an interesting way of doing it. And I started reading about Russian prisoners of war, and it's fascinating differences between, it's of course all the ethnic things. So if you were like a Slav, you got preferential treatment, and they had difficulties figuring out the different ranks from other countries. So there was and of course they were always treating the officers better. So apparently there was a significant number of non-officers actually got treated as officers, and of course you keep your mouth shut, kind of thing, that type of stuff. I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. So hold on here, I'm going to go and share the screen. There we go. All right. There. All right. Translator. I got to get rid of this, which you guys can't see. Translator, get out of there, you silly goose. I don't want this. There. All right. Translator's note. On the back of the 2-page issue of the final German East Africa news dated 18th of August, 1916. Oh, yeah, William Aarons. I actually went off to on Wikipedia to go and look up that newspaper and so on and so forth to find out about the Zeitflung or whatever the heck it's called. Because I wanted to find out how it was formed and so on and so forth. It's really interesting. Just before the fall of Morogoro, at the end of the publishing of the paper, there was another article placed there for the purposes of propaganda. But this was not a new editorial, rather a reprint of an essay by the German Jewish poet and author Heinrich Heine, originally written in 1842. Heine was one of the cultural figures who held Napoleon in great esteem. And since he was born in 1797, he experienced Napoleon's humbling of Austria and Prussia and the emperor's taking of Vienna and Berlin as more of a conqueror than a liberator, as a child rather than as an adult such as Beethoven, who was so upset by Bonaparte's action that he ripped up his dedication to the Corsican of his Third Symphony. Heine, in contrast, held that the English were to blame for the stagnant condition of politics and society in Europe, their defeat of Napoleon being the chief cause of the European malaise. Though Heine both admired and translated Shakespeare into German, he had no love for either the English people or the British government. Charles Latour says, I'm thinking for Christmas I might be tempted to get some 2mm World War I figures. Don't know what the one company has, but I'm thinking that this might be fun. The train will be fun to make. Yes, do so. Darn it. No, I don't know what size. I'll have to go and take it. Maybe it's 10mm. I'm telling you, Charles Latour, for my perspective, if I was going to get back into miniatures again, or if like from scratch, 10 millimeter, man. It seems to me to be a sweet size, Not too small to paint, not too big to paint, and you can stack a ton on a freaking base and still get that mass effect, but lots of detail. And the amount of companies that are now currently making 10 millimeter figures, and the detail is spectacular. Really, really good stuff. I'm like, like the Ancients now, there's a monstrous amount of different Ancients at the 10 millimeter range. It's really, really, really good. As well as Westerns. If you're into cowboy stuff, there's a lot of 10 millimeter, good 10 millimeter stuff. This makes the following diatribe against the main enemy, British imperialism of the German Reich, relevant. Meandering says anything under 20 millimeters too small for my old eyes and fat fingers. I know, I used to think that as well, Meandering Mike. I used to just paint 1:72. And then when I converted to 15 millimeter, because everybody and their DBA dog does it, I was like, what the hell are they doing? This is insane. Dice tables, there are monstrous numbers of 10 millimeter Ancients. Satan, get thee behind me. Nice to see you. And you're one of the people that I was actually just mentioning earlier on in the stream, actually saying there's some new people that I think new people that have been commenting on my channel that have been rather insightful and really interesting comments, especially, I think you were the one that did the comment about, boy, wouldn't it be nice to see conflicts in the Great War on Crete that had nothing to do with like the Brits and whatnot. And there we go. We could do the pro-Venizelos versus the pro-Constantines. That would, I think, would be totally cool. And I will say this in a side note again. I'm so glad I'm doing this stream today. So I have to thank you again, William Aarons, because like I said, I would be doing something different right now. Now it sucks. Manny Mike says, I can't believe how well Sam paints those 15 millimeters. That is why I sent him all that I had. Wow. Really nice one. Nice one, dude. Nice. And there, I'm going to pop your thing, Dice Tales. So you are the person that is there. So thanks a lot. Yeah, I was really, really happy to see your comments this week. It got the ball rolling. I'm going berserk, actually, trying to find as much information as I can about what was going on in Crete. That it's not so far. I'm just hitting a brick wall. But then let's look at Tolemykus's little slogan there, motto today of the day, which is just keep on hammering away, and you will eventually find success. To the feelings against the leader of the Entente in 1916, even though written 74 years earlier. Where are you? I must have put in a crazy page break. German East Africa News, August 18th, 1916. And I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this. Heinrich Heine about the English Lucia letter. Like, remember, William Aarons, any mistakes that we see in here? It's me, not you. Because I didn't edit or proofread or whatever. 17th of September, and you sent me tons of edits, and I just never got around to them. 17th of September, 1842. It is certainly a horrible injustice to pronounce a damning verdict against an entire people. Yet in reference to the English, a momentary indignation by myself could cause the masses of the people to forget the many gallant and noble men through their spirit and their love of freedom. However, those few, namely the British poets, that are isolated martyrs in their relations to their countrymen, contrast very sharply with the rest of the people of the nation, that thus do not belong to the great geniuses that may share a place of birth, but scarcely identify with this place, this Golgotha, the place of the skull where Jesus was crucified. Cool, because I had no idea what that would have meant. I was thinking some kind of creature. The mass of the stuck-in-the-mud Englishmen, God forgive me for my sins. I find it repugnant to the depths of my soul, and on closer examination, I often do not feel that they are fellow human beings. Rather, they are to be held as unfortunate automatons, robots, with their mechanical parts as the internal mainspring of their ego, psychology. William Aarons says that the heading should read letter, not letter. Yes, and like I said, it's... oh yeah, just in case people don't know, Michael, pop that in. Sam is Corvinus Wargaming. There we go. Yeah, like I said, William Aarons, it's my fault. I must then further observe that I hear in the worrying mechanisms how these creatures think, feel, and pray. These machine-like Anglican churchgoers with their gold-plated books of common prayer under their arms. pretty neat if this was written in 1842 and this guy's talking about whirring mechanisms and whatnot. I know there's clocks and all that stuff, but still, I think it's pretty neat. I do find their dull and boring Sunday sermons with their awkward sanctimoniousness, holy cow, imagine trying to spell that, to be offensive to me. I'm quite convinced that a vulgar cursing Frenchman makes a more pleasant spectacle for the Godhead, Supreme Being, as any devout Englishman could. At other times, these Englishmen seem to go around as ghosts, appearing very weirdly, as bleached shadows at midnight, as spirits that would dissolve and evaporate once they come in contact with the glare of sunlight. They stride forth ever so clumsily with their jerky and angular motions of their arms and legs, and with their stiff elbows knocking into others without ever pardoning themselves with the words of, "Please excuse me." I admit that I am not very impartial when I'm speaking about the Englanders, and my verdict, my antipathy, perhaps comes from my anxiety at odds with the welfare, prosperity, indeed the happy state of peace and quiet found in the German fatherland. I have also become aware of how egotism rules also over the politics of the English. This fills me with a ghastly dread that is borderless. I have entertained the greatest respect for their materialistic forcefulness, which they very often exhibit with a kind of brutal energy, wherewith the Romans had cause to conquer the world, but they have combined the Romans' wolf-like predatory ways with the Carthaginian snake-like cunning deception to ambush the unaware. I don't know if that, yeah, I think it was supposed to say that. Against the first trait, we have sufficiently tried and true weapons. However, against the insidious intrigues or tricks of these Phoenicians of the north, hey, what would have been then? We are without a defense. And now England is now as dangerous as ever. Now, where its mercantile interests are predominant, there's nowhere in creation so hard-hearted a creature as a shopkeeper, these spiritless and dull merchants who would betray their customers and whose warehouses are empty. Goodness gracious. How will the English save themselves from this economic crisis? A war in Europe would perhaps appear as the final suitable solution for these egotistical people, taking the inner sickness that they suffer and place that ailment all around and outside of themselves. Bloody hell, this guy does not like them. The English oligarchy speculates that they can tap into the real wealth of the money bags of the middle classes. It's like, I feel like saying, like, just tell me what you really feel, you know? It's like, oh my God, who possess such colossal riches, and these affluence could be used to appease and pay the lower classes sufficiently for their legal exploitation. Charles Latour says, I told myself no more than about 40 each Cowboys and Indians for 15 millimeter. I'm right now sitting at 392. Oh my God. Oh, brother. Let's focus, Chris, focus. How great are the expenditures for the Indian and Chinese expeditions? How great as well the financial need is such a cost to the budget of the government of England, raising yet another deficit that could only be covered by demanding more funds from the middle-class merchants to further these goals. Indeed, the greater the national debt, then the larger the outpouring of the riches of English gold to foreign lands will become. England is a tradesman, a businessman or shopkeeper who finds himself in a condition of bankruptcy and who is, without a doubt, is squandering all of his wealth. Translators note, it is sad to see such a great mind collectively denigrating an entire nation. It is almost a foreshadowing of what was worse to come, even for civilized and talented people such as mine. And like I said, I'm sad to see that go, Willie Marins. Sad to see it go. We're going to go to the week there. Dice Table say, may I suggest Miniatures Anonymous? Tell them you're a friend of Jack's. Right on. Oh yeah, trust me, man. If you go to see Charles Latour's channel, Dice Tales, he's a lunatic when it comes to painting. He's a. Oh my God! I forget. That's one of the things I wanted to mention. Isn't this the end of the month? You guys are doing your the mini war painting challenge. That ends relatively quickly, isn't it? Well, the 30th of September, for goodness sakes. Okay, we better hustle. Well, what am I saying? Hustle. I mean, it's nothing happening after this. All right, the week that was September 22nd to the 28th, 1916. And we'll say this on the side note. I think I mentioned to you that my boss is No, she's a Francophone. And so I was asking her to pronounce some of the words. I was like, how do you pronounce this one? How do you pronounce that? And she was like, where the hell are you getting these things? And she's like, they're such old words. Like, we don't use those types of words anymore. I'm like, well, maybe they do in France. I don't know. But she's like, boy, these are really strange words. So it was neat to see a Francophone getting stumped quite often. She was like, oh, this one, but no, it's got this. You do that. I'm like, cool. Anyways, September 22nd to the 28th, 1916, Charles of Torres. 30th September it ends. Got 190 of 240 done. Well, wow. Those knolls, I really am interested to see those knolls, man. They look. Well, I think I mentioned that before. They're one of my favorite D&D monsters. I really like them. British advance. Okay, September 22nd. British advance to the east of Courcelette. Strong British airplane raid on an important railway stations with much damage done. Hold on, I'm going to stop the screen temporarily. I'm going to pop on a picture, and because it's one I stole from Indy Nidell's channel, just to kind of take a look. That's why I said I want to get into some funky stuff with. I'm going to make sure I disappear because I wanted to get into. Do I do the? And if I make it bigger, that should help. Good. Yeah, I just wanted you guys here. So you're going to see, we're going to be talking about a few of these places, like Maurepas, Hadricourt, Meandering. I painted 0 so far for the mini Warmut challenge. Between class and illness, yeah, I was wondering about that. I'm going to pop your thing on temporarily so people can see it. But there are just a few. Obviously, not all there, but there's Courcelette, there's Fleur, Martin-Puich. I think that's how you say it. Thittval, that type of stuff. Just yet again. So there we are. Like I said, I eventually would like to have that on the side with the freaking the week that was. I just think that makes way more sense. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this, that. There we are. All right, and I'm back to the. Okay, we're good. Let me get back to this here. Airplane on raid on Kent with no damage reported, but you're going to see one coming up in a minute there, the Zeppelin raid. Holy moly, do they ever nail a lot of people? That was not a 90% miss, I can tell you that much. Russians reported about 50 miles from Lemberg. Left bank of the Struma, British troops were attacked and Bulgar counterattacks repulsed. This has got to be the shortest one I've ever seen. I had to look at the book again. I'm like, did I miss something? So nope, just nothing else happened to report, I guess. September 23rd, big raid by German airships on England with 2 airships brought down. September 24th, Krupp's works at Essen is bombed by 2 French airmen with 12 bombs dropped. Tara Bosma says, next week I can't join as I'll be at the Essen Fair. We'll make a short report again. Oh my God, it's already been a year? Are you serious? It's been a year already, Hara Bosma? Are you serious? Or do they do 2 a year or something? Because I'm like, what in the world is going on? You've been around for a year? Holy Moses, that is so cool. Wow, I'm impressed. Like that we've been going on for that long. Wow, man. Krupp's works at Essen. Wow, I'm shocked. Wow, that went fast, Hara Bosma. My God. Wow, neato. Krupp's works at Essen is bombed by 2 French airmen with 12 bombs dropped. And that's the artillery thing, I think, Krupp's guns or something. South of the Ancre, Germans made 3 unsuccessful attacks on lines west of Le Boeuf. A Zeppelin attacks Bucharest and drops 3 bombs. The Sharif of Mecca reports he has forced Taif, which is 60 miles southeast of Mecca, to surrender the garrison, and many Turkish prisoners and guns and stores are taken. In Ottawa, the Canadian war loan of $20 million is an extraordinary excess and is oversubscribed by $16 million. Charles Latour says, have fun, man, next week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to do your other whatever. That was the start of it. I remember saying, wow, this is like the Hara Bosma special. It was really nice. September 25th in Athens, Venizelos with members of his party leave for Crete after addressing a long message to the Times and explaining his position and hopes. And tomorrow, well, you'll find out. In Tokyo, mass meeting at the Doshi Kai, which is the Constitutional Unionist Party, I think, resolves to amalgamate the three parties supporting the government. Harold Bosman, thanks you, man, for the wishes. Sir A.J. Murray's dispatch of January 6th, 1916 to September 1st, 1916 is published. North of Greece, in eastern Florina, considerable Bulgarian forces attacked the French beyond Armenov. West of Florina, French and Russian troops engaged north of Armansko, taking prisoners and machine guns. Bulgarian right wing in Dobruja retreats and I don't know what I was. And begins fortifying the new positions. That's what I was supposed to be putting. Lesboeufs and Morval are captured. Comble hemmed in by the Allies. French progress at Rancourt, La Prise Farm, and Frégicourt. Damn it, she would tell me too. I'm sure Brian R. Smith would say this is what you do with an accent aigu. Zeppelin, this is the one. Zeppelin raid by 7 airships on England with 43 killed and 31 injured. Ouch. September 26th, capture of Cambrai and Thiepval. British storm Gueudecourt and cavalry. Remember, we were talking about cavalry just a little while ago. Pursue Germans with a quantity of stores and many prisoners taken. I remember I was also saying that Haig is like pretty pro-cavalry, and it was like last week, just after the live stream, I was like, oh, for God's sakes, he was a Lancer, remember? And no wonder he's pro-cavalry, for goodness sakes. French advance east of Cambrai and Rancourt and enter wood of Saint-Père-Vaast. The Vulcan Pass is regained by the Romanians. And yet again, the switch up, depending on who we're seeing here, it's ROU Manians or RU Manians or just the RO Manians. It's like, holy moly. Greek ships have joined the Allied fleet under Admiral Dufournet, the French commander-in-chief. General C. Crew occupies Igalilu, east of Tabora in German East Africa. September 27th. It's so neat to think that you, Charles Latore and William Aarons, can just go zip off to your map and see exactly where these are. September 27th, Greek generals reported in favor of war. Interview with Mr. Lloyd George on the war is published in American papers. British naval airplanes attack sheds near Brussels. In the Jui Valley along the Vulcan Pass, the Romanian troops attack and repulse the enemy who are retreating towards the north and northwest. Boy, did I ever butcher that sentence up. I mean, when I was typing it out. Romanian army occupies 1/3 of Transylvania after the result of 1 month's war. But I'm thinking, yeah, but how much of Bulgaria and Germany have of southern Romania right now? British storm stuff redoubt and advance north of Flers to the east of that. I don't think that's supposed to be that, but something Labé. At Verdun, German mount a strong attack at nightfall against the Thiaumont-Fleury front and repulsed with great loss. I'm not 3 minutes off. September 28th, a British attack Schwebon redoubt on the crest of Thiepval Plateau, and most of it is taken. British advance north and northeast of Courcelette and between Martin-Puich and Gueudecourt. French make progress between see, that's a problem, and then my mouth just goes to mush, and Morval. And I think this is it. Proclamation by Mr. Vilos in Crete. Crete again, for goodness sakes. I'm going to stop this. And I can leave this on here. And that'll be that. I don't care if I'm sounding like a broken record. Thanks again, William Aarons, because like I said, if you didn't send those pictures last night, I would have canceled the live stream. And I wouldn't have had as an enjoyable time as I did hanging out with you guys for the past hour and a tiny bit. And I hope you guys did as well. Like that went out. And you're right, Brian R. Smith, when you said at the very beginning, just chill. This is just hanging out with friends, man. Whatever. And it's like, okay, I like that. So I hope you guys have a good remainder of your weekend and week. I hope you guys get to get some gaming in. Thank you, Gamers with Coffee, for sending me the link. Well, I haven't looked at it yet, obviously, about an alternative to the StreamYard, which would be great. Like I said, I'm not in favor of spending $45 American per month. This is nuts. So that's it. Thanks, everyone. I'm off. Like I said, there's no sexy after hours show. All right. Hope you guys have a great time. Thanks again. Okay. Bye.